Hey,
Hey, don't say you're not muted.
no, people usually come in like it's not. This is not like
We're early. I'm never early for meetings.
it's like very laid back call.
Casual, come
Yeah.
and go.
Yep.
Ooh, let me know while of those scenarios.
Did you
I,
email me?
yeah, here I put them all together. Cost of new hires. Let me share this folder with you, and then let me know which ones you want me to print. So those are all the scenarios. I have them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tabs or 5 different documents under that folder I just shared with you. Based on the scenarios that we ran. So I can, if you want me to print any of those.
Oh yeah.
You know me and my digital hoarding, I got it all in there. I'll put that.
This is great. Brad,
Oh.
what's up, dude?
Recording in progress.
Oh, let me kick some of these things out. You're early. You hear me? You're on mute.
Sorry, man. We're good.
We usually wait a few minutes, let people come in, let them get a
We
fucking
are early.
get a taste of Brent this morning. Go ruthless on him. Hey, Daniel. You're on mute too. I think everyone's gonna. Philip, Buck, how are you?
Oh, hey there. How are you?
Good. If everyone could put their LinkedIn profiles in the chat. We'll get started here soon. Let a few people jump in. Buck, you met Brent before, right? Or no?
I'm very familiar with you, Brent. Your social media is awesome. I think been on here before with you, but
Yeah.
I'm Buck.
Nice, man. Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Daniel, I don't know if have you been on here before? You're still on mute, bud. You're on mute, Daniel.
Sorry about that. Yeah, no, I've watched a couple of your videos, a lot of Brent's, so glad to be here.
Good
today.
stuff.
Yeah, all good. I'm always learning.
You have to be.
Absolutely.
D-Money, sitting in the office here. She's working out of our office right now. Deborah, you want to tell them what you do real quick?
Hey everyone, nice to meet you. Yes, I do, well, essentially the basic sales consulting, process improvement, pipeline building, foundational fun stuff that got you all where you are now. So I'm just here to sponge.
Perfect.
There's a lot of synergy that Don and I have within this world. That's great if you have a hire and you have somebody that can come in and do all the work that you want them to do and they're a rock star. But then if you don't have the processes in place to make them successful, then what's the point? I guess it's good for you guys sometimes because they can back into the pipeline, but still.
Brian, you're gonna love this. This guy calls me yesterday. So I threw an NPC candidate out there on LinkedIn, right? A guy calls me, he goes, yeah, we're struggling to keep people on. I look at their LinkedIn attrition, 34% in sales, just turnover central. And you already know, he's like, yeah, I train these people. I'm like, you don't fucking train them. They come on, and you think they're gonna be like you, then you get rid of them after 2 months, and it just doesn't work like that.
No, and once that reputation hits the streets, you're done, man. Turn and burn, right? That's
right.
Not a locker room people want to get into by any means.
I know. So we're going there tomorrow to try to switch up everything.
Yeah.
but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that's my question to you guys. How do you to switch up everything, but you can't call anybody's baby ugly? You know.
Well, sometimes we do. You have to.
I said, yeah,
You know?
you're right. Yeah, it's a nice way of that. Right?
100%. I think a lot
Exactly.
of these companies need a gut check. They need a reality in the market, right? If you want the truth, I think they're too nice.
Yeah.
Business has no emotion. This is asset or liability. You cost me money, you make me money. So I actually think they appreciate when Dom and myself or whoever come in and just tell them what other people that are winning down the street are doing. They don't know what they don't know. We have inside lens that they need the brutal truth. You got to be able to have that relationship in place. But when you do, and you're a trusted advisor, they respect it and listen, right? We're not here to coddle them and tell them everything's going to be okay and puppies and rainbows. That's not why they call us.
Yeah, I think to Dom's point too, we all assume that because we're all hustlers, that people coming in that are doing sales are hustlers too, which they might be, but if they don't know who they're calling or what they're doing, or if your operations team can't support all the sales that they bring in,
Yep.
you're just setting them up to fail. They won't win.
Well, yeah. So Brent, she comes from our space.
Yeah.
Not recruiting, but
Oh, logistics side, yeah.
Yeah.
And some medical in there, and some dental, and some. I mean, sales are sales. So, but most recently, the logistics world.
Once you realize no one knows what the hell they're doing, it kind of calms the mind a little bit too, right? Like, yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to know. That takes a village.
That's it.
good stuff. Well, thanks everyone for joining. We'll get started now. I know people are going to be jumping in and out, but Brent, thanks for coming on. Brent is a competitor, but not really. Like our space is so big. We only go up against each other, maybe 2 companies.
Yeah, if that.
But me and him talk all the time. I respect him. He's a hustler, just constantly going, networking, putting out LinkedIn content. So I just wanted him to give his take on BD, what he does. This guy don't stop. He don't fucking stop. And that's who I got to compete with. So go ahead, Brent, take it away.
Yeah, I think like if I was to again, I come from the lens of just experience shares and like what I see working, because every year is different, right? Everyone here had that COVID run where it was super easy. It really didn't take a lot of work. Last 2 years, a little bit more challenging. And if I was to give a name to 2025, I would literally call it upgrading, meaning that we're not in a market where everyone's in hyper growth and we're blowing it up and we need all these bodies. When I talk to these companies, I'm coming from the lens of you have to maximize every single seat that you have here. So I truly believe, and I think Dom and I have spoke about this, headhunting, if you embrace that mindset, is in demand now more than ever. They need us because they cannot miss. Every dollar counts. They have low performers, which is the stupidest thing you can ever hold on to. So all of a sudden, I'm coming from a lens of you don't know who I don't know, and I know a lot of people. You need to see the people that I'm bringing in front of you. And I'm not asking you to add all these new dollars and all these new bodies. I'm telling you to elevate and upgrade and become lean and mean. That's my value to you as a partner. So I actually think business development right now, when you take that approach, is going to resonate and make a lot of sense with these companies. The people they want are working for somebody else. That's the God honest truth. I have never, and I will never take the approach of being a job placement company. I'm not here to post jobs like everybody else and just, here's 10, let's see who you like. You don't need me for that. Why am I dangerous to you?
Right.
I'm dangerous because I am a sniper. I know how to sell, and I can go get sellers because you got to be one to get one. And I'm going to hand deliver you something that nobody else has. That's going to be your experience with me.
Yep.
From a business development standpoint, I know I've shared this like on Ben's podcast and some other stuff. If I really want to pursue a company, I think this is a great little hack that's worked for me. I come from the lens that I am behind the scenes talking to people on the streets all day long. I'll go to these companies and be like, hey, I'm just trying to familiarize stuff with me because in the last 2 weeks, I've had 3 people in my network ask me about you guys. So there is a reputation, or there is something happening behind the scenes, which now catches my attention and you're on my radar. I feel like I need to know you, and I think in turn you need to know me. Who do I need to find out more about what you guys are doing out there? Because there's some buzz on the streets. Number one, that's going to flatter them. Number two, I've created curiosity. And number three, the minute I get them on the phone, I know I'm going to be dangerous, especially if I'm going contingent. Why in the hell would you not sign up with me? Dom and I talk about this all the time. I'm a better friend than a foe. I'm a better friend than a foe. You want me on your side as opposed to you don't want me coming after your people. I will dismantle your whole company, and I will be the earthquake that's going to have aftershocks.
No doubt.
Dom and I are aggressive guys. We are aggressive. You've got to be seller. No company is going to call you, hey, I place people at 20%, and I just have a massive bench of all this amazing talent. How does that sound? You know how many of those calls they get? You know how many of those emails? It's soft. You take a soft approach, you get soft results. You got to be a killer. You got to be aggressive. You got to be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest advocate. I'm a subject matter expert. I live, eat, and breathe accounting, construction, healthcare, supply chain. I am dangerous here.
Yeah. I think you froze. Did he freeze, or is that just me?
He froze.
Froze, yeah.
Brent, you froze.
That like
It's a
a mic.
Steve,
Like
it's
a
a
mic
Steve
drop.
Job pause.
Yeah.
It
I
might
should
go 6, 7
screenshot that.
minutes. Just want to let you know, it might go 6, 7 minutes.
Well, while we're waiting, oh, where'd he go? Patrick's on here too. Patrick, I had a great call with him the other day. Patrick's been in the game for a long time, knows what he's doing. Pat, are you, oh, here comes Brent. Would love to have you speak too, Pat, when you get back on.
Sorry, man. I think I was coming in too hot. It kicked me off. But
Oh, yeah. Your
but
fucking computer's on fire.
I know, man. It's tricky. It's like, whoa, dude, hold on. It's 9 a.m. But again, the reason I say that is because I think if you really know how we operate, we are aggressive people. And I think too many people are too passive. The days of just sending these emails, they get 20 of those. There's no differentiator. Number one. Number two, from a business development standpoint, a lot of people have seen how we use LinkedIn, right? Using LinkedIn as a person of value so that you are showcasing that I am somebody within my niche or my industry that knows what the hell is going on behind the scenes. These people live in silos. They live in their little house.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a community. They live in the house. See the difference? So I know what 20 other people are doing where I can now be a person of value to you to at least get you on the phone that I feel if we can talk, I can tell you what other people are doing. I'm not sharing proprietary information, but let me tell you what Joe down the street's doing, Billy across over here. That is of value to you. And that's why I don't think it's that hard to get these people on the phone. But you got to have, honestly, it's a lot of confidence too. You got to have confidence that I know what the hell I'm doing. Right. And I'm having conversations that you're not. And again, that is so much different than just the soft approaches that everybody else is taking. No one's doing this for you. No one's coming to save you. Most of us don't have base salaries that we lean back on. Eat what you kill. You are running against guys like Dom and myself who are hunters to the ultimate degree.
Right.
And this is why, honestly, man, I don't think it's ever been an easier time to win. I really honestly think that, man. Because you can bring in AI. You're going to throw me against a robot? Please do. Please. I'll Terminator 2 that shit all day long. What? How is a robot going to talk about counteroffers? How is a robot going to talk to someone's wife? How is a robot going to talk about the emotion that goes on when they actually leave a company? How's a robot going to negotiate salary? We are elite sniper headhunters. Do not be a recruiter. Change that mindset. Recruiters post jobs, they sit back and they filter through shit. That's going to be replaced. If I am niche specific, I know my industry, I know the competitors, I know the commissions, the compensations, the benefits, everything that people need to win. I am now a person of value that becomes invaluable and irreplaceable. You need me. I am a partner, not a vendor.
Yeah.
All of these little mindset hacks is how you approach the day every single day with playing offense. So again, Dominic, I'm just sharing like what's working currently because we just had our biggest month ever in 11 years. Today, 11 years. April was our
Congrats.
biggest ever.
Nice job.
It's not by accident.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, but I'm not satisfied, man. That's yesterday's news. That's April. What have
Right.
you done lately? I'm in May. Okay?
Yeah.
No one cares. I have a sign. No one cares. Work harder because that's a God honest truth. No one gives a shit. Done.
No one cares.
Today's news, right? So we're in a new month, but these are the aggressive tactics that we're taking, man, right now.
Right. So like for you and I, we do a lot of sales roles, right? But what about people that don't do sales roles? How would you help them right now?
It doesn't. The roles are inconsequential. Like that doesn't really matter. It's identifying yourself as a subject matter expert. Going in when you have these conversations, you have to maximize those moments. You have to sell yourself to the company. I have to sell myself to the candidate. I have to sell the candidate to the company. I have to manage all these moving parts. It doesn't matter, man. I could be a nurse. I could be a engineer. I could be a project manager. That doesn't matter. It's the process and how you navigate these waters. And the first things first, you have to build trust and rapport with these clients. And you will know if you have that based on the responses that you get back, the response time, how engaged they are, how serious they are. Even through the first interview, I know a lot. I'm going to know how much they respect me as well in my time. And if I'm not getting that, you don't get my bench. You don't get access to my people. So I can go feed this somewhere else. This is why business development is so important. You have to have options. And if you want the truth, I think the best approach for any headhunter to be, or again, mindset, is I am a talent advisor. Because if I have enough options in my back pocket, I can now go into the calls that I have very loose. You know, Danielle, I don't know. Imagine if you get on the phone with me and I'm just pitching you. Oh, Danielle, you're the perfect candidate. And I have this amazing company. Number one, I don't know shit about you. And number two, I probably don't know anything about the company. So it's a blind leading the blind. If I say, Danielle, I don't know what direction I'm going to take this call, but all I want to understand is what you're doing, hypothetically, what you may be looking for. And at the end of this call, let's determine what path may make sense. And if it does, great. And if not, no harm, no foul. I'll probably hit you up in 6 months. Is that fair?
Solid. Yeah.
See how much more loose I'm going? And then I can become a strategic matchmaker. But I can't do that if I have 2 companies I'm feeding.
Yeah.
Right.
All of a sudden, I can coach and consult you about what's going on in the market, why it makes sense or it doesn't make sense to make a move, why you should go on dates. Dom, if there is time as a seller to go test the market, it's right now. This is the prime free agency to go. Your worth is right now. Defense guys, operations, it's not your turn. I will get those guys paid when it's their turn. You're swimming upstream. But guess what? Guess who has all the leverage in the world? You do. You know why? Because when we talk to these companies, guess what I'm going to do on your behalf? Give him a reason to move. Give him a reason to move. If he's that good, he's not moving for $5,000. This guy's got 3 kids. $5,000 goes like that. That's 1 week at trampoline parks. Give him a reason.
Yeah.
You're spot on.
This is
You're
how
spot on.
these are the hard conversations we have, and this is the intensity and the passion and the education that I do with these companies, and that's why we get all the business. Because I have now separated myself as a killer, not just a recruiter. Here's some resumes.
Right.
Yeah, I found this guy off Indeed. I think he's a killer. Well, he's been unemployed 3 months. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. He's really, really good. He's got I know he's got open to work on his LinkedIn, but don't worry about that. It's okay. I'm a job placement firm. I'm trying to get a job first so I can make $12,000. See the difference?
Brent, like everything you already know, we talk every day, so this is spot on. But for those people that are just starting out, that don't have a name brand like you, what advice would you give them right now?
Act as if, man. You have to act as if. 11 years ago, the header I put was the top recruiter, #1 recruiter in logistics and supply chain. You know how many clients I had? 0. That is my personal billboard. That was the self-belief that I had. I owned it. You can own it. You can go claim to be Houston's #1 accounting person, Detroit's #1 this, the top recruiter in mortgages. Who cares? What's someone going to do? Call you out? I own that. That is real estate and billboard. And think about, once I claim that, and Dom tried to steal it from me one time, once you claim it, you can't take it. Right? You can't take it from me. So why would I not have that identity? And then all of a sudden think, as I email companies, as I email candidates, are they not going to see that and become curious? Well, shit, you got to be either delusional, which I know I am, or crazy to put that out there and not back it up.
Right.
So you have to start to build this brand and start to post content and be a person of value and be dialed in, give insight and value. It's not about selfies. If you heard me on Ben's thing, I said, be a person of influence, not influencer. This is what this was all about. I can influence market trends. I can influence what I'm seeing on the streets. I can influence a client into all these things going on where, don't you think they're going to probably want to take my call? So, and again, if you want the truth, Dom, I don't think people take enough reps.
Yes.
This is a number.
So talk about that. Like, how many times are, like, I know every time I'm talking to you, it's, hey, shit, I got to go. You got to go. How many times a day are you on the phone?
Yeah. If I'm not, I'm pissed. That's on me. I control my calendar. Why is it not filled?
Right.
Recruiting is a contact sport. And again, having led teams and built people, the reason most recruiters get emotional is because they don't have enough in the pipeline. Oh, when all of a sudden I got 2 people in the mix and that goes 0 for 2 really quick, oh my God, is there anything more demoralizing? Now I have to start over. Here's what you got to remember. This is my mindset. Every time I miss, it's a 3-week reset. Every time a candidate doesn't get through the process, that's a 3-week reset that now I got to recalibrate. So for me, I always try to have at least 10 in, because if I lose 2, I don't care. I got 8 behind it. If I have 2 and I go 0 for 2, I'm screwed. I'm back at 0. I'm not getting a check for 6 weeks.
Right. But do you guys see what he's saying? If you're a generalist, that's very hard to do, to keep, 10 people warm and for one role ready to go when you're trying to fill a nurse, a mortgage, this, that. It's tough. You got to be dialed in and be the best.
We've all been there. We've all been there. And early on, I mean, here's the thing too. You got to be so selective. You got to pay your dues. You got to get base hits. Dom, you've worked on crap. I worked on crap. Shoot, man, I look back 10 years ago. I was doing flat fees for $5 grand, 12%. Just I had to do what I had to do, right? But now we work with the top companies in the entire industry. So it is a process, right? You're not just going to be able to go to the top tier Fortune 500 companies like I started my company last year. But if I get that opportunity, you better believe I'm going to give them an experience like they've never had. I'm going to show them gold on a platter. I'm not going to show them average. I'm not going to show them shit. I'm going to show my worth where they're like, damn, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Philip, you had a question? Did you raise your hand on X? Oh, go ahead, Tim.
Just real quick. Yeah. From a business development side of it, obviously confidence. Yes. I'm horrible at it. I love having conversations with people, but I just can't talk. I direct. I'm always kind of trying to beat around the bush a little bit, warm it up instead of being direct. From an advice standpoint, for someone like myself, I love listening to motivational tapes, audio books I listen to all the time, but how do you gain that confidence? I'm assuming it's just the reps. You do enough reps and then you're there. I think that's where,
it's how many if you don't mind, Tim, do you get how many deals a month do you get? A couple? 1, 2?
1 or 2, not much at all. Yeah.
Okay. Are you trying to go bigger, or does that suffice for your lifestyle? That's okay?
No, I want to go bigger, but I'm scrambling. I'm a generalist in a way. I'm working in the food manufacturing, but I just got a recent place I used to work with. I'm now doing an enterprise account manager sales role. It's just kind of like, and then I didn't have anything in 2 weeks, and I was able to get a couple of candidates within 2 weeks in the role. But I focused a lot on that, not business development, because I was trying to get.
Do you know that industry inside and out?
I worked in it for 7, 8 years. Yeah, I was an outside account manager at one point for like a year and a half.
You have a very strong story and narrative. I'm one of you. Everyone I talk to, I'm one of you. I've sat in your seat. I know your world. I'm one of you, right? So your confidence should actually come from actually being on the inside and knowing the inner workings and what works. Look, confidence is something you can't fake, but I do believe it is something you have to have, because you have to be able to inject that. Sales and recruiting is nothing more than an exchange of energy and belief. That's all it is. So for me to be able to have that, number one, I have to believe that I know what I'm talking about. I have to believe in the companies that I'm representing. And I have to believe that I'm probably going to change someone's life by going through the process with me. I'm not going to help somebody go sideways. I'm not going to help somebody go lateral. I'm not going to get them a demotion. I'm going to get them a promotion, right? So I have a lot of confidence knowing that when someone gets on the phone with me, something good is going to come at the end of it. And I'm going to win last. So I put others ahead of me. So my confidence comes from the relationships that I'm able to build and knowing, shit, how many people have you placed in your recruiting days, Tim? How many?
Probably about 300 or 400. I started a couple years ago, actually outside of.
That's a lot of success stories. That's you have now changed the trajectory of 300 to 400 people. You don't think I'm saying that on every call? How the fuck can you not have confidence, man? Who else can do that from a kitchen table? Who?
Right.
That, I hear more negative self-talk, if you want the thing, than I flip that the other way. I'm fucking dangerous, man. 300-400 people, that's a lot.
Congratulations, that's a great success story.
Which means that you've talked to fucking 1,000.
Yeah.
That's just wins, right?
At least.
So I don't know, man. I start to own that real dangerously on every call. Hey, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Number one, I worked in this industry for 8 years. I sat in the seat we're probably going to talk about. And the reality is, over the last 5 years, I've helped 400 people make a career transition that got them into a better situation. The purpose of this call is for me to see if you are going to be one of them. Let's dive into what a day in the life looks like for you. And I'm going to step back and see if something I have makes sense. Is that fair? It's just how you frame it up, man. But I'm going to frame it up by telling you how dangerous I am, and my confidence is going to be there. Because these candidates feel you, man. They feel you. They feel your intensity. They feel your energy. They feel your passive and soft. If you don't have confidence, they're not going to have confidence in you. It's not an option.
Yeah. And I think this too, and if I'm being honest, like there's times where, does this matter? No, but in my head it does, where, you know, it's like, yeah, I make 7 figures, I make more than the CEO, right? So in my head, I'm like, why would I be nervous about talking to the CEO? Does that matter? No. But in my head mentally, yes.
Well, and here's
that table hot and ready.
Most recruiters, this is the truth. You may only have 4 or 5 calls a day. Those are performances to me. I am locked in. I'm present. I am engaged. I'm standing up or walking. Like, you're going to get the best version out of me. I can do that 4 or 5 times a day. We're not in, this isn't 1995 smile and dial on an auto dialer, even though I came in that world. This is a different game.
Yeah.
So I can almost fake confidence 4 times a fucking day. You know what I mean? You want to know crazy hacks I do? This is how crazy I am. You know what I have in front of me right here? This is a $12 mirror off of Amazon. $12. Okay. You want to know what I do? I put it in front of me, right? And I stare at myself while I'm doing the calls, because I want to see, like, I'm talking to myself and I'm looking at my eyes, my body language, my facial expressions, because again, I'm intense with these people, right? I'll go and grab Evian face spray. You guys think I'm joking about this shit? This is real stuff.
That's awesome.
For every call, I do this, okay? I have a forearm clicker, right? Six triggers I do. Do you think I'm joking? I have a mirror, a face spray, and a forearm clicker, so I'm engaged. I'm present. I'm activating my body so I can have some releases so that you feel me. I'm just giving you little hacks that work for me, man. People might think I'm crazy.
They're rituals, and
yeah,
it tells your body to do what it's done. Yeah.
And Daniel has 2, right? I got 2 of them, man. I can double click. But
you stand up.
This is really
I'm going golf swings.
Yeah. So my confidence also comes from body language and movement, and you got to have a little swag in this game, man. A little belief.
I think Buck had a good question. Was it like the pacing? Do you pace, Buck?
Yeah. I got a standing desk, so when it's call time, desk goes up, got the Bluetooth in. I'm walking around like I need to move. If I'm not moving, my voice it's not as confident, and I'm not really delivering how I want to. Something I've really noticed about myself.
Motion equals emotion. Motion equals emotion. You got to move. You got to kind of have, like, you know what I mean, a little bit of
energy.
It's an exchange. People are going to believe in you, and Dom knows this. When these people talk to you, all they have to do is believe that you believe you know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Brother, you don't have to believe. You got to believe that I know what I'm doing, and that this makes sense to take this call. You know what I tell these people too? The candidates. I said, dude, you're gonna scroll around on social media for 30 minutes today, looking at other people's lives that have no impact on yours. You're telling me you don't think it's worthwhile for yourself and your family to take a 30-minute call that I'm gonna set up? Get out of here. I'm real aggressive. I'm real aggressive with people, right? I don't.
True though.
And it goes back to the Tim and the confidence thing. What you were saying, Tim, like that's huge. Yeah, you do know what you're doing. You do have experience. You are an expert. Say it.
Or I frame it up like, what do you have to lose? You're in complete control. These are dates. If it doesn't, tell me no after the first call. Don't close the door without looking inside. You think I'm randomly calling you to help you go sideways or backwards?
Those might not be people you want to work with anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So again, I just come in with that much, like, I'm not. Oh, well, here's the other thing, Tim. If you want the truth, I expect to win. I'm shocked when shit doesn't go my way. My expectation to win is at such a premium. I'm honestly surprised when deals go sideways. I'm like, whoa, I don't even know what this feels like. This feels weird all of a sudden. I expect to go 100 for 100, as crazy as that sounds. So I flip my lens. That's what a professional does. You know what amateurs do? They're shocked when stuff does happen. Oh, fuck. Wait, yes? Oh, you're actually going to accept? That's rookie stuff. See the flip? It's all these little things, man.
Or the feel for no's. Give me no's. Give me no's.
Cheers.
My husband's like, and I'm like, no, give me a no. Keep going.
That's when it gets fun. Like, I don't know. That's when it gets fun. Like,
challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
Brent asked you, how many recs do you typically work on at one time?
Man, we got a lot. I have a whole whiteboard in front of me, and it goes in waves. Like, Dom and I do a lot of sales, but the reason I want options, and we're big sports guys, right? If I can represent all the teams in the NFL, and when I talk to a player, I can then play matchmaker. Because I need to know if somebody's inside sales, outside sales, they like to travel, they don't, they're cradle to grave, you know what I mean? They go mid-market, they go enterprise. So I have to have all these options, and when I talk to somebody, I can say, you know what, I'm hearing you, right? And I really frame stuff up as well, Brent. You know, I really try to what I say, narrow the lanes. But you got to be able to have as many options as possible. Now, the way to counterbalance that with your clients is setting expectations.
Yes.
Because where I'm going to shoot myself in the foot is if they sign on with me and all of a sudden they think they're going to get 3 people week 1, and I have to frame myself up as a true matchmaker, and I'm only going to show you someone that aligns. I'm not going to show you stuff just to show you. Personally, this is why I don't do retainers. I don't care about a retainer, because the minute I grab your $5,000, I'm on the clock. And this is where a lot of recruiters and people get bad experiences, because all of a sudden now people are showing shit just to justify the $5,000 they grab. I'd rather play loose and let me just do my thing. I know enough about you guys.
Yeah. I love that.
Brent, more than you think. More than you think.
But I think, Brent, to that point, with having more than that, being able to follow up and have a good way to keep it together, so that way things don't fall through the cracks, to keep it manageable. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. So if you have, 20 things in the hopper, it's going to ebb and flow. But if you don't have a way to know who you talked to yesterday, because I don't know what I did yesterday.
Everybody, you're in my office talking shit about me right now.
I know. No, I promise. But no, to be able to know who to follow up with next, if you don't have that, if you don't stay organized, what does that say to your customers? What does that say to your candidates?
Like so what I do, again, being a sports person, is I know that people, like, I have a whole whiteboard of all the companies, and then I have names underneath of who's in where. What I then do, I call it the red zone, just like in football, right? So my goal is to get people from process over to the red zone. Red zone's where I got to close, right? So I'm constantly moving people. And then the third layer of that is start date. You're only going to fill 3 buckets. I'm in interview, I'm in red zone, so I constantly know, okay, these are the ones I have to tap. Where are we at? Are we at the finish line? Where are we stuck? And then I'm going to have a start date. So like right now, May 5th, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 people already starting on the 5th, which is Monday. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 already on the 12th.
Jeez.
No, I'm gonna scare everyone real quick. I'm gonna scare everyone. I'm gonna give you some real shit that we deal with here. Okay. The last day that you're probably gonna get someone started in 2025, I might go December 15. That's pretty close to the holidays. I'm probably gonna go December 8. Okay. I'm gonna Google how many Mondays till December 8.
And he's not joking, guys. He's told me this year after year. Like, he knows to the T how many start days with holidays. You got to know that too when you're navigating the interviews.
Okay, hold on.
And telling your clients up front, if you're going to be out for 2 weeks, maybe we don't start this process yet.
Oh, I mean, you know, this is the stuff I look
There's
up.
nothing worse
Trying to
than
find
waiting on somebody to respond 2 weeks later. What are we doing here?
We have 32 Mondays between now and December 8th. And then
That's
there's
what-
Memorial Day and Labor Day, so take out 2. So there's 30 between
Okay.
30.
I have 30 chances to get paid. That's it. I have 30 Mondays to get paid. Guess what? That turns into 22, turns into 16, turns into 14. And here's the reality. For me to get someone started on December 8th, you guys know this. They're in process by, I'm going to call it November 10. So I'm already eliminating even more there. So you talk about a sense of urgency. This is always how my mindset works. I don't have time to take my time. All of a sudden, I'm focused on this November 10th because maybe I'll get some people in process on the 17th. Then it's a dead week of Thanksgiving. You see what I mean? So my urgency levels are always at a premium. And then you guys know this. You go from December 8th to January 5th real fast. Your kids either have a good holiday or they have a shitty holiday.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Brent, I want to tell these guys this too, because a lot of people that get into recruiting think they need all these tools. You don't even have an ATS, right? So
Excel.
just remember that, guys. He doesn't have an ATS.
I have an iPhone. I don't give a shit about all these AI tools and all these ATS systems and all this automation. You can do all that. You know, look, man, there's no right or wrong, bro. First and foremost, there's no right or wrong.
And that's what I'm saying. Is like, I use a lot of that stuff. You don't. Like, some people, you just gotta know what works for you.
That's it. And I think you guys know, you know how many emails I get getting pitched on stuff and people trying to sell us stuff all day long, right?
Right.
It's a contact sport. However you get in front of people, it doesn't matter. But you have to maximize those conversations. I have to be a subject matter expert. I have to educate the companies on why we are in an upgrading season. And I have to let them know why I'm a added partner to their portfolio. You want to know who I know, and you know me. Yes. You know what? Or don't. Or don't. I'm gonna feed your competitor. I gave you a chance. You don't get 2.
What's your thought process like when you do get you built the relationship, you get the job order, contract signed, you know, you're working on a contingency. I get challenged because sometimes I'm like, I got 1 or 2 good candidates that would suffice the role, and I'm like, I kind of hesitate and I throw 1 at them because I want to see the feedback. If I throw 2 at them, then it's like, I don't know if that's what's your advice like on that kind of thing? Is it, I mean, obviously you want to throw an A player in, but if you got a couple of them, is it good to have them thinking about different, you know, it's a good example, sales, right? You get someone that has maybe sold exactly what they're doing, or you get someone that's got all these damn awards that's just constantly hitting President's Club, but maybe not the solutions that they're selling. It's something different. They just have the mentality to be a winner because they have a track record.
Yeah, it's how you frame it up. I'm okay with like the A/B analysis scenario. Hey, look, I know this is a new relationship, we're kind of feeling each other out. What I want to do early on is I want to try to give us an A/B analysis. I want to give you kind of plug and play hitter that knows your industry, probably has relationships and contacts. And I'm from a different lens. I'm going to show you someone who's maybe a little younger, hungry, has some of those intangibles. There's no right or wrong, but as we go through the process, we're going to determine what's better for you. So I'm okay doing that. Now, I've absolutely hit bullseyes, and you surprise these companies. They're like, well, dude, I want to see more. I said, for what? Dude, did this guy check all the boxes? Time kills all deals. Don't discount me for being really fucking good at what I do.
Well said.
So again, you have to have confidence. Or you know what? Tell the guy, no, let's go back to the bench, and this guy's gone in 3 weeks to somebody else. You want to play that game? Because I don't. Again, I don't know. I'm just real aggressive with these companies because they need, I hate to say this, but they probably need us more than we need them. People is the lifeblood and the ultimate competitive advantage for your company. Everyone sells the same widgets.
Yeah.
So we're just blunt. I asked Don, like, people either love us or hate us, but we just tell it how it is.
Good luck if you go against us. I mean, that's the mindset you got to have.
Yeah.
Because we can take the company apart real quick.
Yeah.
See if we got good partners.
And the worst part is guys like us are petty as shit. Where if you tell me no, I'm coming after your people just to cause ruffles, right? I'll teach you a little lesson here. It's awful. I mean, maybe don't record that, but I mean, that's kind of how I operate, man. I'll play little mental games with myself like that.
Oh, Brent, you've seen some of the emails I've sent.
Oh yeah, okay, I don't care.
Ruthless. I think Philip, you've had a question for a long time. Is your hand actually up, or you unmute if you are trying to talk? Did it disappear? Anyone else have any questions for Brent? Yeah, it's not going to bite.
No, man, I'm here to. We're all playing the same sport. We're all here to help each other, right? Because here's what Dom and I talk about all the time. I think as we communicate with other recruiters, I think we all owe a duty to ourselves to elevate the industry. You guys, it's like real estate. When shit's hot, too many people come in that don't belong here, right? So I only engage with people that take this really serious, want to be the best, have integrity, don't cut corners, don't discount fees. We owe it to all the other people coming up to raise the bar and hold that line. This industry is, we have the hardest job out there, because here's why. You don't know the mindset I have? We have the only product that has a brain. The only product. Mortgages don't talk back. Insurance doesn't have a wife. Healthcare doesn't have kids that it has to feed. This is the ultimate sales position. So you better believe we take it very, very serious.
Yeah.
Patrick, you had a question?
Yeah. So on the candidate side, so you're getting the absolute best candidates, and how do you leave them with the timeline or expectations for what you're going to deliver? I mean, I understand that you're going to get them in front of companies, but if you've got a number of how do you leave that at the end of the conversation when you're first speaking with a candidate?
Yeah, I let them know that, look, what I'm going to do at this point is I want to go ahead and present you to my client. I think this is going to be a good step one. And then from there, it really should be a 3-step process. I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself, but let's just start with like phone call 1. And then again, I have to push these companies like anyone else. Right. I don't want to just chase calendars all day long. So you have to set those expectations. A lot of times, if you want to know if you have a good client or not, ask this question. Hey, over the next 2 weeks, tell me what the actual process looks like. Because I come from a world where a lot of the companies we work, they do 3 touches in 10 days. Are you able to commit to that? Because if you're loose, why am I engaged to even fucking help you? You think I really want to play someone right now for July? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, 10 days should be the expectation. If you have you do SLAs with your clients, be like, top candidates, 10 days from when I introduce you to, that's like the fall off for the best candidates. I mean, if you're actively searching,
yeah. So again, you have to talk, when you talk to these companies and you even do like the intake call, if they don't have a defined process, hey, step 1 is with Sarah in HR. If that goes a green light, we're going to have them do an assessment. From there, they're going to talk to Jeff, the VP of sales. If that's a green light, we'll probably bring them in. From there, we might have one more touch point, and then we'll probably be able to make an offer. And I said, well, how long does that typically take? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? Because I'm going to reverse engineer. Because here's the reality. Let's just say, this is where companies screw up. Let's just say that's 3 weeks. Okay? Then we're going to have to get to the offer stage. Then I got to give this person a 2-week notice. I'm 6 weeks out. You're telling me right now, you're talking about hiring somebody in the freaking middle of June? People forget the trailing part of this. People forget the offer stage, the exit, the, hey, I got to order equipment for you. The interview process is one part of this. Guess what I can control? That. I have to expedite it. So again, Buck, I educate. I'm educating people. They don't know what they don't. You guys, we all have multiple clients. You maybe have one that's fucking really good at their process. Most suck.
Right.
You know what really happens? Candidates go on 3 first dates, and then they don't communicate behind the scenes. So think about that experience. These are Dom and I work with $1 billion, the biggest logos that drop packages at your door, and they don't have it figured out. This is real stuff, man. So I have to become a trusted advisor and partner to educate you what I need to feed you.
Yeah. Brent, you got a question?
Yeah, I got one. How do you open up your biz dev calls? Let's say if you're calling a new company that, you know, maybe they've heard of you, maybe they haven't.
Yep.
But how do you open that?
Yeah.
So,
So,
and just to give you context, I'm recently started in the past year, started my own firm.
Yep.
Still going through the valleys and the killer placement. Oh shit, didn't get one that month. Okay, killer, got a placement. Okay, got a placement. Oh shit, didn't get one type thing.
Yep.
And so just like, okay, let's get this going, you know, in the right direction.
So your ask is from a business development standpoint, how do I get in front of these companies? Like, how do I sell myself almost?
And how do you open that call? Because I don't mind doing phone calls.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, you know, I think that's a key differentiator is the fact that, okay, fuck, I'll make a phone call because a lot of people won't, you know. So it's like, okay, how would you open that if you're in my shoes? I'm in the data center space.
Yeah. You have to sell yourself as a subject matter expert. There has to be a very strong narrative and story there about how you're different than everybody else. So, you know, I've been in this niche for 27 years, 17 years, whatever the case may be. I mean, I hate to say it. Again, you can act as if. They're not going to do due diligence, right? This is, remember like back in the day, you used to have like your GPA on the freaking resume. The game's changed. Yeah. Sell yourself, man. You know, over the past 12 months, you know, we've had record growth. We've placed hundreds of people. That could be 100. That could be 999. It's all the same. Could be you could have placed fucking 14. Do you think they're gonna call due diligence and call your bank and verify this information? You got to act as if, man. You got to sell yourself a little bit. I'm not saying to come out of the gates with lying or fluff, but you got to play the game a little bit, right? Okay. And then the other thing I was telling maybe before you jumped on is I will go to these companies and say, hey, I've been in this space for a year. I got to be transparent. There's some buzz on the streets about you guys. I'm literally just inquisitive to find out more about what you're doing. And if nothing else, I can tell you what I'm seeing within the industry and your competitors. So it's a win-win conversation. I don't want to just take. I want to give and take. So I come in with a very soft approach, right? But I kind of frame it up because they like to, everyone likes to feel flattered. Hey, there's some buzz on the streets about you guys. In the last 2 weeks, this is crazy. I've had 3 people ask me if I partner with you. So all of a sudden, I'm wondering, maybe I should.
Those always C-suite or like top sales or all HR?
Fuck HR. I don't want me and I hate them. I don't want to mess with them at all. They're a roadblock.
Until you need to offer.
Yeah. Well, you know what they're there for? When you go to happy hour and get hammered and they got to fire you. They're not here to hire. Get out of here. Yeah. I can deal with the sales managers, the owners, the VPs. Yeah. You know, they can bring them in at some point. I'm not messing with that. I go around their asses as quickly as possible. So, because those are the guys that are going to speak my language and I'm going to resonate with anyways. Yeah. They're not managing people. They're not on the office floor. HR is there to keep us. Because you know what happens? You go send an invoice for 40 grand that goes through them and they fucking hate you.
Yeah, they're taken from them.
Because they're miserable organizing the next goddamn kitchen sing-along at 60 grand. You can laugh.
Ernie,
Yeah. Someone
you
told
got a
me
question?
the newbie HR people, you can get the info from them first because they want to dazzle their company, and then the high salespeople. So I'm way newer, so I'm not as high level contacts here. I'm just hustling.
Hopefully no one's putting this on freaking LinkedIn, Dominic. We're being too real here, man.
No, it's good.
This is real shit. This is real
Yeah.
stuff.
This is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. Period. Ernie, you had a question?
Yeah, no. You know, Brent, you were talking about you had no ATS, you had you had no car, you had no phone, you had nothing, just write people. No, just kidding with you. I want to know, how did you get to that state of mind where instead of going after every shiny rock,
Yep.
you just said, you know what, fuck it, this is what I'm gonna do. How did you get to that point?
Two things. Let me correct the ATS. I have figured out how to use LinkedIn or Navigator as an ATS. So like, you know how you can build the projects? So like, I don't want to say it's all in my head by any means. Like I have a Chicago seller, a Nashville operations. I just use LinkedIn Recruiter for what I need as far as that goes. Number one. Number two, to answer your question as far as narrowing down, I think I've said this 1,000 times. In recruiting, you're only dangerous as two things. Number one, and number two, the candidates that I show to these companies. That is my identity. I don't want to deal with shit companies. I don't want to deal with scrub people. I don't want that to be my identity. Ernie, I am not a job placement company. I am a sniper. I am a headhunter. That's why I frame this up so much. There is a difference in recruiting and headhunting. We need to bring back headhunting. We need to bring back that mindset. We need to bring back the value in that. I hate the word recruiter. Right? So again, I sell myself as a very, very elite subject matter expert in this space. And here's the thing too, Ernie, you can have a couple different versions or characters of yourself. I speak to my audience. If I play in 5 industries, you think I'm going to get on a phone call with the company and tell them that? I'm going to stay in my lane. I'm going to narrow those lanes. Let me tell you why I'm an expert in accounting. Oh, next company. Let me tell you why I'm an expert in construction. Let me tell you why I'm an expert over here. You got to narrow that down, right? They don't want to hear, no one wants a utility player. They don't want a handyman. They want a plumber. They want an electrician. They want a landscaper. They don't want a jack of all trades. I can fucking do everything. What do you got? I can work on it.
And when you go after a company, brand new,
yeah,
who do you call? Who's the first person you look at, and who do you call?
Well, you can always go and see who's posting the jobs, reverse engineer it. But I always look, okay, is it ops? Who's the ops manager? Is it sales? Who's running the sales team? Is it marketing? Who's the head of marketing, right? So I just try to go around junior people. I try to go directly to the top, and I'm just very blunt because these people should respect that as well. If I can get in front of you, don't you think I can get in front of candidates? I'm showcasing my skill sets, right?
I love that. I actually love that you said that.
Anyone can go to fucking HR. Hey, Sarah, I saw this job posting. I would love the opportunity to work at that for 18%. Fuck out of here, dude. They get 20 of those calls a day. There's no differentiator.
Do you use on insights?
Personally, no, I don't. My insight is called intel because I'm so dialed in on the streets. I know what the hell's going on.
I love it. Ryan, you had a question?
Yeah. I post a ton on LinkedIn. I advertise myself as that old school headhunter as well, but a lot of my LinkedIn content is mainly directed towards clients and getting new clients. But the problem is I set up these calls and the clients hop on the call and they want me to headhunt that for them, right? They want me to promote their background around to my clients. So I'm curious if you have any tips on converting your content into inbound leads rather than inbound resumes?
You talking to get business development, to get companies? Or
yeah.
I mean, look, if you really study the content that I do, you know what's crazy, man, to be honest with you? If you really study the content I do, I don't talk about jobs. Have you ever seen me post that I'm working on a role in Chicago or Nashville? Everything I do is very intentional around high performance, right? I only want to talk about high performance. This is where I play. Here's a podcast, a person of value. I just personally tend to do that. If I'm trying to draw people in, I do video a lot just because I feel it's a differentiator. Most people don't like how they look, style, whatever. Storytelling is really good. A lot of people like stories, right? So like when I get on the phone with the company, I'm very interested to find out more about your company. I know you guys are around 100 million, 50 million. I have 3 other examples of companies I've helped in that same situation exceed in scale. You got to be a chameleon, man, right? I mean, what's your biggest challenge, Ryan? Like, what are you saying is your biggest roadblock?
My biggest roadblock right now is I'm just getting all these candidates, and it's mostly executive search. So I'm getting in front of the right people and getting out to them on the phone. Right. But the problem is they're not trying to buy from me; they want me to sell them.
So you're getting on the phone with companies, and they're liking you, and they're saying, "Hey, get me out of here."
No, he's getting on the phone with high-level candidates. This is my process. So you're going to want to talk to Patrick, Ryan. Patrick's got a really good system set up to help you. Because I have that too, where I get all these referrals coming in, plus the people I'm dealing with. And it's like, you want to help these people because once you get in, once you place them, they'll be able to help you. But
you're talking to candidates and they want you to hire for them?
No, he's talking to high-level candidates that want him to place them.
Yeah.
So like NPCs.
I set it up as a sales call, and they want me, instead they turn the sales call into me, more of like a pre-screen for me to help them rather than to help their company grow.
Man, I don't come across that's fine. It's situational, man. Again, when you have enough repetitions and stuff, that's fine. Be like, hey, I didn't expect that to be the case here, but I totally get that, right? And if I have enough business development and solutions, that's cool too. I go into these calls loose. I don't know what I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, man, because they're respecting and trusting you to be able to represent them. Dom and I look at this like being a sports agent. I just want to be somebody's sports agent. Think about this. Everybody has a realtor, a landscaper, a barber, a financial advisor. I want to be their recruiter. I want to be the first name that comes up. And going back to business development and the headline and how I sell myself to the market, if I'm in whatever industry I'm in, I want to be the first name that comes up. So I have to market myself. All of us are marketers. You got to be your big cheerleader. So you have to think intentionally as I put out content. Life is a mirror. What am I trying to pull back in? What am I showcasing? What am I putting out? What education value? What link to an article? What podcast that's relative to my industry? It's all a magnet to me. Right? And if you want the truth, like I'm always in my email signature, I have a face. I'm always trying to get these people on the phone. Like I want them to know that like I'm a human being too, right? That's where the differentiator on content, whether it be like Dom and I post shit about our wife and kids. You think that's on random stuff? It's so people do business with people they like and trust. I'm showcasing who I am. I'm a normal dude. I work out at 4 a.m. I play hoops. I'm going to the Warriors game tomorrow night. I went to fucking hike the Grand Canyon, which don't anyone ever do last weekend. What does that have to do with the job?
You're not fucking normal, first of all.
but I'm telling you a story without telling you a story.
Right.
I'm showcasing certain things, right? So again, I don't know, man. There's just so much that goes into this. But again, I think it boils down to repetitions too.
Thanks.
Yeah. Ryan, reach out to Patrick Barbour. He could definitely help you with that.
Appreciate it.
You just posted the chat. Patrick's got a pretty cool for guys like me that are always chasing these new shiny tools and just trying to stay ahead of the game. Patrick's got a pretty cool system down all into one. Pat, are you still on? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on. What's up, Dom?
What's up, Pat? So Pat's been in the game for a long time. This guy's got a house in Brazil, Houston, crushing it in the staffing and recruiting game.
Appreciate it.
Brent, thanks again, Brent. That was fucking amazing.
Yeah. It's just real. It's a very competitive landscape. And again, if I leave anyone with anything, this is a year of upgrades. Educate your companies. Educate your companies. They need us now more than ever. Post and pray is done. Gen Z is done. You have to look as if I'm running a company, I'm a general manager of a sports team. I'm in charge of that payroll and that salary. I better get the best people in there. I might not need 8 people. Maybe I need 3 really good ones. It's a different year, man. It's a different season. No one's out there crushing it that hard. They cannot miss. Let me hand deliver you that. The person you want is working for somebody else. And here's the thing too, like Ryan and Patrick, you guys know this. When these companies try to recruit on their own from a competitor, they look like scumbags. It's poaching. Let me do the dirty work. Send my ass in. It's a different angle.
Right.
Let me be the bad guy. I'm fine with it.
100%.
Why the fuck would that? Why would a company not sign a contingent agreement with you? Why? Think like business development should be easier than ever. But you got to give them a reason to do that. And a lot of that is by educating them on the market, the landscape, trends, your access to people, the angles that you can enter that they can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good stuff. No, that's awesome. Brett, that was amazing. Pat, I know I want to have you back too on another one to do one of these, but I did a call with Pat the other day. I only brought your stuff up, and I didn't even know you were doing that. I knew you were doing this, but not to where the level where you're at now. This is pretty amazing what he's got going on.
Cool. No, I appreciate it. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Thanks, Brent. That it's like a shot in the arm. I love the energy. I've gotten several one-liners. The Tramp Park 5K for a week at Tramp Park. That was that.
And I got 2 little girls, man. I live at Sephora and Lululemon. I can't lose.
I'm living that life too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Shit, I got reasons to win. Oh, here's the other thing too. I'll tell you guys this. I'm really big on selling beyond. Like I got to find out the person. I sell the person, not the paper, right? So I ask these. You got to remember, we can ask shit that HR departments can't ask. When I talk to candidates, I'm asking where they are season of life. I'm 36. I got 2 kids. Oh shit, dude, you got to win, right? I've sent text messages to clients about like, dude, my wife wants a new Escalade. I'm like, shit, you don't think this guy's gonna work a little different? That's so much different than a resume. It's selling the person as well as their skill sets. That's really what they're on.
Eve, honey, wasn't I telling you this morning, or was I telling Tracy? I need to find out what their bills are every month.
Yeah.
If they're not 30 grand a month, okay, let's talk.
You're comfortable.
Because they just want to upgrade, new Escalade, need a commission check.
Country club.
You set a higher bar.
Yeah, they live in Naperville with the fucking country club. They got 2 kids. We all live that life, so we know it anyways. But I sell that too because I call it reasons to win. They show up differently. They're hungry.
You can't go backwards.
Yeah, ex-athlete. You know what I mean? This guy. And here's why I ask questions of these candidates. When was the last time you competed? What was the last thing you did something hard? What do you do at 5 a.m.? What do you do at 7 p.m.? That has nothing to do with being a fucking industrial engineer. What was the last podcast you listened to? I don't listen to them. I watch Netflix. Fucking see ya. Bye.
Yeah, Danielle said it. Find their why.
Yeah. Again, you may think, again, that's why people love us or hate us, because I'm blunt as shit with these people. Because that is a reflection on me. Whatever I show to these companies is a direct reflection of my brand, my name, my company. I am not a job placement firm. Stop fucking around on open to work, green banners, and shit resumes and showing that to your company. They don't need us for that.
No.
I am a sniper, elite headhunter that does shit that nobody else can do. That's where I'm dangerous in. That's where the confidence comes from.
Fucking love it. Dude, Brent.
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing. Thanks.
I gotta go close deals now, man. I'll talk to you.
All right.
That was awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Great meeting you.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you guys got to see Buck. I think you did a demo with RecStack too, right?
Yeah, Patrick, that was awesome.
Oh, what's up, bud? Yeah.
Good to see you again.
You too, man. How's Austin treating you?
Oh, I love it. It's the best.
Good.
So Pat, I'd love to have you back on another one too. But if you want to like kind of go through, show what you're doing, I think this is amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I'd love to. I thoroughly enjoyed Brent's talk. I co-sign everything. I'm going on vacation tomorrow, so I was kind of half stepping today, but now I feel like I need to really get my shit together and
Yeah, and I'm not joking. You know, I talk to him every day. He is like that every day, all day from 4 a.m. I get up early my time Eastern. He's up at like 3 a.m. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Patrick, get the recording and watch it when you come back from vacation.
Yeah, no doubt. It was amazing. I think the guy's name was Ryan. I don't know if he's still on the call, but who had the issue with catching a lot of
right.
NPCs. Ryan, there's definitely a way that you can market those, but to solve the problem that you originally asked about, like two things that I would consider, like I encourage you to consider doing. One, change the topics and the talking points that you're using for your content creation. Focus those more on solving problems and talking about problems that C-suite VP leaders are facing before they get to the hiring process, right? So things that they have to solve for first before they need someone like you. That might help change a little bit the way your audience is reacting to you. The other thing that I would also recommend you do, which I'm sure you're probably already doing, but I'll just go ahead and say it anyway, is when you're talking to these executive leaders, if you're seeing a ton of them in your niche, I would definitely want to understand what's driving all of the change at the top within those companies, right? If it's an abnormal amount, maybe there's something underlying going on in your specific industry that you might want to be dialed into as well. So that's my 2 cents there.
Yeah. And what Pat has done, I have known him for what, 3-4 years now, Pat?
Something like that, yeah.
At least he's put together an amazing tech. Instead of going out and buying all these different tech stacks, boom, right under one roof.
It's it is one of those shiny objects, but I will say, Brent nailed it. The tools, in my opinion, you have to have a model that that you can execute, that's repeatable before you add technology to it, right? The technology should enhance what already the skill set and the motion that you already have dialed in. It should only enhance it to the point where it gives you more time to do more of it. And that's actually where the growth comes from in using technology. It's not the other way around where, hey, I'm paying this subscription and now this tool is going to save my business. It's going to bring all the, you need to already have something proven. And like I say this all the time to new people these days, which isn't super popular, but I'm a firm believer that we're in like a massive trust recession with decision makers. And so if you're just starting out, my recommendation to you is pick your dream 100 clients and offer to do some placements for them for free in exchange for a testimonial. Like I know that's highly unpopular, especially with people that are, trying to cash flow and all of that. But what you're doing by doing that is, one, you're actually offering something of value, right? You don't have anything that you're bringing to the table, and you can be transparent with them. In my opinion, hey, listen, I'm just starting out. This is my background. Let me do a placement for you for free in exchange for a testimonial. If you get that opportunity, if you reach out to 100 people, you get 1 or 2 that say yes to you, you get the opportunity to obviously deliver. Of course, that has to be part of the recipe. You get the testimonial, which is social proof, which is like marketing gold. Now you can go to other companies in that industry and say, hey, look, I just solved this problem with X, Y, and Z company with this role, et cetera. Here's them actually selling my shit for me. And then not always, but oftentimes those same people who you did the free placement with, if you do a good enough job, will likely give you repeat paid business. And so it really is a really good way for new people to kind of get some marketing assets, under your belt, if you will, that you can leverage, and some proof for yourself as well. That helps, like Brent was saying, like get those wins. Like how do you build confidence? Like you show yourself that you can do it, and that's just through the reps, right? So that would be my recommendation to new people, but a lot of people don't like that. So.
Well, yeah. Also, I'm actually doing that right now with somebody, and it's somebody who's really well connected, and basically had the conversation about referrals and being like, hey, you can refer me in good conscience, knowing that I've done this and done good work for you, and make these connections. Like there's more connections with, it's untold. You don't know how much business you can get from that, but could be a shit ton. So I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, social proof the biggest thing, I'm a big believer. Outbound is definitely, it's had an evolution, and in my opinion, and what I see work today is what I would refer to as like inbound led outbound, where instead of reaching out to people cold, you're actually, the core of your marketing motion is around content and, establishing a brand, building trust, etc. And then having people who engage with you, opt into lead magnets and, engage with posts and that sort of thing. Let that drive who you're actually going after, right? Because they're raising their hand to say that, hey, this is relevant to me and potentially there's an opportunity. That's, in my opinion, that's a more strategic way of kind of like maximizing efficiency of the time that you have. The other thing that I think is important that I have certainly lost sight of in the past, and I see this a lot with other folks, is, if you're doing outbound, if you think about this, SalesLoft, they do a lot of studies on this, so I definitely recommend you go and check it out. But only 3 to 5% of your total addressable market, whatever niche you're in, is actively looking to buy right now from your service, right? The other 95%, even though they're in your TAM, it's a timing issue. So if you're just doing outbound, you're really only focusing on that small sliver of your actual market. And the other part of that is, of that 3 to 5%, half of those people already know who they're going to work with because they were getting nurtured and served content while they were part of the other 95% bucket, right? And so when they transition, so you're really actually fighting for a much smaller piece of that pie. And so I think a lot of people forget about that. They're actually ignoring the lion's share of their market when they're doing that. And so, yeah, I mean, I think Brent nailed it. I'm a big fan of like short form videos, lead magnets, testimonials, actionable value that you're posting through your content. That is going to help build that. And yeah, I think that's one, that's a lot of people are not willing to do, which is also a good thing for us. It makes others very beautiful, but it also helps improve the other aspects of your marketing motion as well. So,
yeah.
Well
So
said.
I highly recommend checking out Pat's. I'll put the link in here.
I appreciate you, though. Yeah.
RecStack. How hard was it to come up with that name? Probably every name domain you wanted was taken.
Yeah, we definitely, we definitely ran it through like the chat GPT, roulette, like give me 1,000 names type of deal. Yeah, it was just, one of those things. It's changed a couple times, as the tool is evolving, but yeah.
I got a quick question. I'm gonna hop off at 10:15, but I'm looking at your website right now and I'm reading down it. Okay, I got Calendly, I got Loxo, I got QuickBooks, I got DocuSign. Do I keep my instances of that, or is it like, oh shit, this is an ATS, it will replace Loxo?
Yeah, exactly. The idea is to consolidate the tools as well as the cost, and kind of keep you in one spot, if that makes sense.
Okay, and then, all right, cool. Like, I've got to hop. Dom, awesome meeting. Hope everybody else has a great weekend. We'll chat with you all.
Have a great weekend, Brent. Thanks, Brent.
Bye-bye.
Andy, did you have questions? Sorry, I missed it up there.
Yeah, no, I was sorry, I jumped in super late. Did you record this, Dom, that you can send the?
Yeah,
over
always.
to me? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was at an event last night, shaking hands, kissing babies, you know how it goes. And one of my competitors was there, and I'm like, these motherfuckers are just 15 years ahead of me in the game. Everyone knows who they are, right? So it's like building trust. But does anyone in this room have a methodology on reaching out to their clients that they know that they're recruiting for and just making the intro? Is it better to just make the intro, don't sell, serve, or is it like, hey, I know you're using XYZ agency. I know some people are unhappy with them. They do a pricing model where it's hourly. So that's like their big thing, right? But yeah, I'm just.
I never trash talk a
no,
competitor.
I wouldn't want to trash talk them.
No, yeah, I always go and find a way to provide value.
Yeah.
I read this Real Recruiting, Steve Finkel. I'm still kind of reading it for the third time, but he really talks about qualifying your the clients that you're working with. And I think the big thing is like when you go through the qualifying, like you want to work with them, right? Ask them if they just play stupid. I've always done that. Like, are you working with any recruiters? You know, how's that working for you? And then when you start getting that, you know, they may bring up that they're working with this, and you know, how's that working for you? Have they had some, you know, what's your tough placements? But you know what I'm saying? You're qualifying them to work with you. If you think about it that route, that is a different conversation than you going after, you know, Dom. I know Dom's working with this company here, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to ask him, how's Dom doing for you? Right? You know, it's like, don't remember, there's no competitors but yourself. When if you ask me, when you go into these accounts, you're your worst enemy. And that's why I told you about my confidence level. Even though I've had some placements in the past, my confidence doesn't come out. I'm more of a, you know, I'm building friendships is what I'm trying to do instead of relationships in a way, right? You know, I would love to take everybody on the golf course with me this Saturday and Sunday, you know, but I know I can't. But that's the ultimate goal, is to have them look at me as more of like a trusted advisor, or like you said, a talent, you know, advisor. I love that. I put that down as my job title, you know, on my signature a couple times, because that's what I want to come in as. Because if you go in, I feel like when you go in and you recognize that they have competitors, it's always getting in a weird conversation. Like, you know, they don't want to say much, but some of them will be open. Have you worked with recruiters? Oh my God, I worked with them. They're horrible, you know? And I'm like, well, you know, it's kind of like selling homes. There's some great realtors out there that follow up and send you cards once a month on how to, you know, grill some great food and for the summer. And then there's others you don't hear from, you know? You know, they represent you. When you get your house, you don't hear from them again. So
a perfect example of this, dude, Andy, is like Brent and I compete on a few different accounts, right? The company was smart enough to realize, like, hey, we probably want both of them on our team, you know, instead of going against us. So they were smart enough to realize that. And then even too, it's like Brent has connections with other people that I don't have, but I have other connections that he doesn't have, right? So now they're getting his connection, his network, my network.
Well, and they know you guys are both competitors too. You guys are gonna
and that's what the guy saw right away.
Smart.
He's like, yeah, I need both you on my team. I go, smart move.
No, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, great call.
Today. Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Attitude of gratitude for everybody. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate you, Don.
No problem. That's what this is for. Tomorrow's call is great too.
Hey, Don, I'll call you on this. Do you know the sorry guys, this is a personal thing. Do you know the Bearcat hockey program?
Where are they out of?
I think they're just outside of Detroit.
Bearcat. No, not. They must be new. Motor City Gamblers. So yeah, they're new. They put out a Frazier.
So go back there. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I'll call you. I got a couple questions for you.
So I threw RexStack AI and my chat GPT, because my chat GPT, I don't know if anybody's done that before, but I've created it to be my accountability partner that I don't have to pay but $20 a month for. So like it plans my day for me tomorrow, like every 15-minute interval starting at 5 a.m. I wish I can get up at 5 a.m. all the time. I'm still a little bit like going back, damn it, I woke up at 6. Damn it, I didn't get ready. So I'm trailing the first couple hours. I'm definitely reflecting every dang day on, but I want to be a 5 a.m. person. It's easier to golf earlier in the morning before the family gets up on the weekends and all that good too. So I ran it through and it said it would complement. I'm using my two tools today. Is I'm using Java and creating sequences for my bulk send outs for first connection requests. And that's been very successful. I've got third interview with a client or candidate going in Monday of next week. And I found that I ran 2 sequences. So I'm one of those people that just bash the hell out of someone because I want to hear them say yes or no. So I run an email sequence out of Loxo with text messages, and I do the first connection sequence in Jobin. And then obviously when they connect with me on Jobin, that's like I have a tag that says call ASAP, because whether they respond or not, I'm connected. So anyways, long story short, it did say that it would complement, RecStack would complement both those solutions. And I don't know if they do any integrations in these or not, but that's something I was just curious to see.
I don't
Because I
know.
know
You have to talk to Pat.
I did
don't
the
know if he's
demo
still
last
on.
week, and honestly, the demo, I'm gonna do it next month for sure. RecStack. I mean, I can get rid of
Yeah.
so much shit, and to save me, I mean, like I'm paying a VA right now to build lists for me, and they got multiple experts in clay that will basically do it for you. The one thing I'm kind of concerned about that I talked with Dom about was, what are they going to do? What is RecStack going to do with the contacts that I'm marketing to? That's just my only concern. But otherwise, amazing platform.
Yeah, no, Thomas, are you still on?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Thomas, he's a clay expert. So what do you think? You used to too, you said, right?
So
RecStack?
when you were talking about, that was my thing too when I first started. But when you start building out your ICP with it, they're going to give you a form. You're going to fill out the information. Then somebody's going to pull all the data and they're going to send it to you either in a Microsoft Excel or Google Worksheet, whatever you prefer. So you get all of that data. Okay. Now, once you approve that data, and if there's targets are off or whatever the case may be, they'll go back and revise it and send you a new updated sheet. So you retain that data. So you can take that data, import it to whatever CRM you want. That's yours. But that data is used to plug and play into Clay to run the automation stuff. That's what that's used for. Okay. So you're going to get the email addresses. You're going to get the verified email addresses if they're verified or not. If you want phone numbers, they might be able to get the phone numbers for you on those as well, et cetera, et cetera. So you're going to get a bunch of information at first. The other thing you can do within RecStack, that's the beginning side of it. Then they'll plug and play that into Smartlead to run all of that in the background for your automation. But you can also use Sales Nav, the link, and then you can go in and create your own based off of your own ICP that you want. And I just recently did this. So I went into Sales Nav and copied the URL, plugged and played it into RecruitStack, and then did my stuff, did my campaign, and then I can launch that. So that's how I'm doing it as well. I also have Clay outside of RecStack because I got so much data there and so much information. I still do things. I can still run all of my stuff out of Clay and then push that into RecStack as well. So there's multiple ways to use it, and there's multiple sources. So honestly, I could use the free version of Clay, but you're not going to get much credit. If I'm just pulling data and stuff that's free, by all means use it.
Thomas, I think someone around there, like, tell him like how you're making some of your money right now on some agreements. Like, he's pulling lists for clients. And
yeah, so one of the things I just reached out to a client that basically says that we tried using staffing companies, etc., recruiting firms, and I basically said, great, I'm not here to replace anything, but it sounds like you still have a need for people. I do have an alternative solution that might be beneficial and very cost ineffective, et cetera, et cetera. And basically, it's just maintaining that, doing an upfront fee to kind of get some of these tools in place. And I'm going to start evaluating this in RecStack to do. And what it is just giving the clients, and I love the energy from Brent. I wish I had his energy to do this, but it's taking, not doing the full life cycle recruiting from end to when he's talking about 2 weeks or anything like that from start to finish the interview process. All I'm doing is just going to supply the customer some resumes within a certain time frame. That's my agreement, okay? And these are going to be qualified. These are going to be candidates that have expressed saying they are interested in the jobs. So I get an upfront fee. It's kind of like a retainer fee up front. And then I do a 2 jobs from month to month on 3 months. So I'm building a cash flow for the next 3 months. If I do and perform well, the thing is like when he was talking about maybe offering a free placement on the first round, I'm not going to do that. I can come in low, build that relationship. There's my social proof right there, and I'm doing it over month to month at a very low cost. But now, once that's done, now I've built that relationship. I have that trust factor built in. Now I can start doing the 20, the 25%, 30% placement fees, so forth. That's the objective to that. So in I know somebody right. I said right now, earlier, I think it was last week or the week before. I know somebody within 2 months built that out for 17 customers in 2 months, and between the setup fee and the retainers, the total is $1.2 million just on just that business alone. And these are brand new customers. They are not contingent or retained, in that aspect. And all they're doing is he's hired what they call marketing sorcerer, or somebody that can do this inexpensively offshore.
Anything about Josh England?
No.
He's got the same situation going.
No. And that ends up, costing maybe $1,000 a month. Maybe you charge them $3,000, $4,000 for 2 jobs every single month. Boom. And so the thing of it is he's on track this year to do over $2 million. And the ultimate goal is to do $1 million profit. So, but that leads into, instead of doing, a placement fee for free to build and get that social proof if you're starting out, this could be an alternative way, just a low cost. It's setting up clays, doing the hay reach, and all that stuff. Even if you're going to use RecStack, your setup fee is already. RecStack's already got everything built for you. It's there. You just charge them a fee, collect the fee, comes out of the fee, and then the rest of it's profit. For your part of it, unless you're going to pay a sourcer, $1,000, so you're still ahead of the game.
Yeah, you're right. Because right now I'm paying a guy $800 a month to create a list for me every month.
Yeah, and that's all you're doing is you're passing that on to the customer, and they do all the due diligence, they do all the screening, vetting, all of that good stuff. You're just supplying candidates that have expressed interest, that are ready to go. They're passive candidates. They're not this low-hanging fruit shit. These are actual people that are not actively looking on the market, but they've expressed interest. And then you can offer your customers alternatives. You can do other things too. If you want to do a performance fee, come in low. If you're starting out, do a performance, and then performance fee, you could save $8,000. Still doing the setup fee, the retainers, but then if you place somebody, it's an extra $8,000 on top of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, guys, I have to jump, but I'll leave the call on for you guys. I'll see ya.
Can I ask somebody a question to help explain this to me? Like this RecStack, what exactly does it do? Does it give you all these tools, or what does he do?
It gives you, so you think of it this way, trying to think here. Let's say it's an ATS. You got your ATS, you got your contacts, you got your pipeline, you got companies, and and so on and so on and so on. So there's a slide dashboard. So you have your calendar view, so you can look at your calendar. You have a view that you can go into your Smartlead account and look at all your inbound and outbound emails, which will still come to your regular email account as well. So you have 2 places you can do it from. The other one is all your LinkedIn connections. So they use HeyReach, which is my preferred for LinkedIn connection requests. The thing is all of these tools are all incorporated. So, you don't have to have, Clay. You don't have to have a subscription to HeyReach. You don't have to have a subscription to Smartlead. You don't have to have a subscription to this, or this, and then have all of these tabs open. You have one place where it's all incorporated into one tool, and you're just paying a low cost because that cost is being reduced across other clients or other customers. So I was actually in mine, RecStack. So you have tasks, so you can do tasks in there as well. You have all your connections in there, all your pipelines, payments, if you're doing payments.
Can you show us that? I mean, I just want to see an example.
Yeah, I may have to get permission from Patrick to do that because, it is his tool. I do have a meeting with him in about 30 minutes. I could ask him, and maybe next week when he's on vacation, he's probably not going to be on the call. If I have permission to show it then I could show it next week. Just to be honest with you, I don't want to get in trouble. There's some AI agents, so you can create agents for voice messaging. So like if you're doing connection request and you want to do a voicemail, you can do something like that. There's marketing material in there, so connecting to LinkedIn, you can do stuff for marketing. There's automations. You can set up all your automations within tech stack.
So basically,
campaigns, cold email, LinkedIn automation, which is Hey Reach, resume generator. So like if you're doing an NPC from a LinkedIn URL profile, you can put all of that information there, submit it, and it'll generate everything and create a resume for you on that. And then there's a magnetic stack, which is kind of like a ChatGPT to help create lead magnets and stuff.
Mm.
So there's a lot there. And then also for texting as well, you can buy it. I bought a number and set up for texting. So when I'm doing things and if I have phone numbers and stuff for my contacts, I can set that up. This is also good for nurturing, from my opinion. But yeah, you can, do all kinds of stuff, opportunity values, conversation rates, opportunity statuses. You can look at your funnels, from positive replies to wins and losses, etc. You can do all that kind of stuff in here as well. So it almost incorporates as like a CRM in some ways.
Well, he has CRM ATS on his RecStack AI.ai.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're into his? If he has Loxo, are you into his Loxo, or what? How does that work? What if you have your own Loxo?
Loxo is a separate thing, so you have to put in your API key to connect to Loxo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tom, have you done any of the they have the marketing component, which I found it to be extremely valuable. Like people are charging thousands of dollars a month for what they have included in the RecStack, like whether it's the lead magnets or templates for certain content creation. Have you tried any of that stuff out? Because
the social marketing thing. So yeah, I've been using it for a month now, but I haven't been able to dive into, 100%.
Yeah.
So that marketing one is just getting started is the first phase of it, and so forth. Getting your email campaigns, getting your ICP company or your contacts, getting all of that, and then going through the setup and stuff. That's the first week, 2 weeks there. Mm-hmm. Kind of getting used to the tool. So the marketing piece of it. So they have a social planner. They have email campaigns for your template. You also have snippets in here that you can do for marketing. You have countdown timers, trigger links for links or analyzing stuff. So like it could be, if you put something, a posting out there, you can do some analyzing on that as well. There's an affiliate, so like your manager. So if you're doing all kinds of stuff for media or campaigns, there's a brand boards, which I don't know what that is yet. There's a design kit in there. You can brand your voice. I mean, there's just a ton of things in there.
Yeah.
There's an ad manager for industry templates. I haven't figured out all of this yet.
Yes, so much stuff.
They're condensed into one tool versus having all of these tools and all of these extra expenses. It's all in one site, which is kind of nice. And I think they're going to do it more and doing all kinds of other things to it as well.
Yeah. That's where I fall apart, bouncing back and forth between all these tools and like getting lost in that process of being like, oh wait, now I need to do this. And I think that's such a valuable for what they charge, honestly. It's a really good price.
It's on their website. You can just go and sign up directly on their website.
Yeah, there you go. One of the things is also you buy stuff and you forget you have it.
Yeah.
And this one just, and you buy a duplicate. You could have two programs doing exactly the same thing, and you just got.
So the only thing is I don't have full access to Clay. Clay is kind of like their back-end tool for back-end automation stuff to do. So in addition to RecStack, I also have my own Clay license. I've had that for a very long time. I still pay for that, and so and that's the other part of it is I use it in conjunction with RecStack AI. But I honestly, SalesNav does the job for me and stuff. So I only have SalesNav, Play, out of pocket, and then my domains are out of pocket, and then I use Zapmail for my email inbox. So those are the only 4 tools out of RecStack that I pay for out of pocket.
You have Clay, you have Sales Nav. What else do you have?
I use Porkbun for my domains. And the reason I do that, there's a lot of tools out there that you can buy domains and mailboxes, like either instantly or even Zapmail offers for you to buy domains. The only problem is if you ever leave that platform, either instantly or Zapmail, with the domains are theirs. They don't belong to you. Whereas if I go to Porkbun or GoDaddy or whatever domain place to go to, buy those domains, and if you ever leave one of those inbox tools, like either Imlist or Instantly or or even Zapmail, you still retain those domains, and you can go to any other mailbox provider and buy more mailboxes from them. So there's a cost savings there. So that's my recommendation. I just don't. I hear a lot of people buying domains from Instantly and stuff, and they're looking to leave Instantly, but they can't take the domains with them. They're gone. They just paid for something that they can't carry on. So, and then I use Zapmail for my inboxes.
What is that? Zap?
Zap. ZAPMAIL.ai.
Okay.
Yeah, and that one you can, when you connect your domains, there's some different platforms. I have the lowest one, 10 domains for $40 a month, 10 inboxes for $40 a month. But you also have the option to add additional domains, and you also have the option to add additional mailboxes. Domains don't cost any extra. I have close to 60 domains in Zapmail, and then I have 160 inboxes in Zapmail. And then you just buy for the extra inboxes, and then you just go in and assign the username, password, or the names that you want for each one of those inboxes, and they're up and running. And then I just supply that to RecStack. RecStack starts the warm-ups on them, and then starts launching the campaigns, and that's it. So I'm doing roughly close to, my target right now is to do 6,000 emails a month, which is, trying to do at least 300 a day. That's the goal.
So overall, your annual budget is how much given doing this?
It's less than 2.
Less than 2?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, an annual budget?
Oh, annual budget? I wouldn't know. I would just, I'll just tell you what it is a month.
I got out. See you guys.
Yeah, same here. Take care, everyone. Good stuff.
So my monthly cost, and I'm not using, counting in for my Gmail accounts, et cetera, and some other stuff. It's around $1,400 a month, just for all of that.
Okay. No, that's really.
My Google Workspace accounts, that's $30. I'm not counting all of that in there, but in all, I'm probably less than $1,500 a month total.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, that's always the key to try to. Most people don't even know what they're spending.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been asking people. What are you spending? They got, I really don't know. So good.
Yeah. I created a spreadsheet. My expense tech stack tools. It went from, a list this big to a list about like this to just cut it in half, basically. If not more. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much. I better let you go because I got to get going and make some calls. So.
Yeah, I got a call. I got a prep for here with Patrick and also. All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.